Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Life as a Dance. My name is Taras, and please welcome my beautiful wife and co-host, Wendy.
Hello, dance fans. We're excited to talk this topic.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Dancing with the Stars, and we're already in season, what number?
32.
32. 32 seasons have been already put out. It's pretty wild. Wendy was just reminiscing a little bit earlier that season 1 came out.
Way back when.
Way back when. I don't even remember when it came out, but it's worth doing a little bit of research.
And we didn't miss an episode or a season, but as of late, we've been a bit busy. So
yes, we have been busy, but we do want to go over this year's cast, both stars and pros. And we're also going to talk about our local version of Dancing with the Stars that we had an earlier episode where the title was something about, do you want to be a champion? But I'm going to put a link in the description below about that episode where Wendy actually won with her star, Cameron. But guess what, folks? In 2023, Dancing with the Hampton Roads Celebrity Stars, guess who won again?
yay. My star, Antoine, took the Mirror Ball trophy home, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so we want to kind of talk a little bit about your star today, Antoine Britt, who is
also your co-host. You kind of have your own podcast going with Antoine.
We do.
Which is exciting.
We do. Yeah, we started a podcast together, but he's a former professional fighter in the UFC. He was on the show The Ultimate Fighter, Tough, and he's a former pro boxer and also our personal trainer.
And just a cool guy all around.
Yeah, totally. But you ended up dancing with him. So tell us a little bit about how it started, how you met, and how the whole process went.
Well, Antoine first came into our studio with his beautiful fiance, Jamie, to start learning to dance for their upcoming wedding. And then they took some time off, and then we got contacted by the Sandler Center about our local version, and there was Antoine's name that he was being paired up with myself in our studio. So it was really exciting. So I already knew him from having him in the studio, but we just got together and we really hit it off. He just was an awesome, awesome partner to have.
Yeah, he came in. So a lot of times when people who are brand new to dancing or doing these Dancing with the Stars things, they really have no idea of what they're getting themselves into. Sometimes they have an idea or a vision of what they want to do because they reference a lot, or a lot of people have exposure or watch, obviously, Dancing with the Stars, currently in season 32, and have this vision of, is this what it's going to be like? And is it intimidating to watch that show and try to do a local version of it? Or is it motivating? Really depends on the contestant. And the local version of Dancing with the Hampton Roads Celebrity Stars is a fundraising event for Virginia Beach Musical Theater.
Which is a great cause.
It's a great cause, yeah. And it helps raise lots of money. But also it gives exposure for the people who are participating in it. They're typically local business owners or influencers of some sort, whether it be in business or, it's pretty much just business owners. I'm trying to think of who else was in it that might not have been.
Antoine was kind of a celebrity, though.
That's true. Antoine is the first legit, probably celebrity that had TV exposure.
Yeah, he was just... I mean, I've enjoyed every season. This was a pretty special season because when he came in, what I anticipated or thought that he would want to do actually didn't turn out being that way. Like I started thinking about maybe doing something, to do a nod as a boxer, being a big guy and super strong and muscular, thinking that he would want to like have me in the air and doing all sorts of lifts. But he really just wanted to dance. And It came out that one of his people that he enjoys the most as a celebrity was the one and only
Michael Jackson.
So we actually did a routine, a mashup of his songs, Beat It and Smooth Criminal, and literally did Michael Jackson choreography, which is a little scary, even as a professional dancer, because he was amazing. And Antoine was so dedicated and started early and had so much swag.
Yeah.
And was super, super talented. Like, I think he blew everyone away.
Yeah. He came in with a certain level of confidence, and he did have a vision once you kind of, well, did you ask like, hey, here's my idea, this is what I want to do? Or did he just come out and say, I want to do a Michael Jackson thing?
He had the idea of Michael Jackson. Like he said, I asked him like because as teachers and choreographers, it's always nice to have that conversation of like, and that would be interesting. I wonder if the stars of Dancing with the Stars have any input or if it's already.
For sure.
But I wanted to know from Antoine what was his favorite kind of music, any favorite artists, and because I think it's always motivating to have them be able to have a voice in it in some way and something that they'll connect with. And Michael Jackson, I think Usher, Prince, and then we ended up going with Michael Jackson. And so I think that was really motivating for him. And I think he was practicing, he was disciplined, he started early. And I think taking video footage, he was, how could someone that steps into a ring be intimidated or scared of anything?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What you just said, on the national show, Dancing with the Stars, do the stars have any say? And I say no.
I would agree. I bet they're told. I bet it's picked for them.
It's totally picked for them because they have a team. I think I'd be curious to know if the pros develop all their own choreography. And I'm sure they do because like Derek Huff is like brilliant. And then like Julianne's brilliant. Some of these other teachers or these pros on here have like Val, they have a lot of experience in ballroom and Latin dancing, but then they pull in like, for instance, people from So You Think You Can Dance who have different genres. But I wonder like how much the producers of the show have say versus the choreographers or the pros or the actual stars, or is it a whole kind of like,
dun, 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 behind the scenes, what's really happening behind the scenes.
But going back to our local version, so our local version is not just us or our studio, it's like other studios from the area that we all have partners. And I think what's interesting for me is that each studio has a unique take on how they put routines together or what their stars actually do. And I can speak only for our studio, where we work as an entire team to help bounce ideas off of one another, try to listen to the stars and figure out what is it that's going to be most comfortable for them. And then kind of work around that. And this year was no different. And I don't know, it's sometimes when I look at the performances, they're all good. I'm never going to say anything that not one performance is better than the other, except for ours, because we win.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's just interesting, like how the process actually goes. Again, I'm only speaking for ourselves. I know how we do it.
I think what works for us and that makes it really a successful event is, and a lot of our stars really commented on that this year, is we really make it a team effort. Yeah. That even though all of us are competing against one another, there is this overwhelming sense of Arthur Murray Virginia Beach team. And it's fun because you can see relationships develop, like amongst our stars. They kind of were supporting each other. They're friends now even beyond the event.
Yeah.
And I think when you go in with that type of attitude, and then back to what you were saying about choreography, I think when you can make the star feel like they're a part of it and really step outside of it as a teacher, that it's about making them look their very best. And so if we have to tailor it down a bit, that's really the most important thing, is can they get out there and look like they're having a good time and performing and not trying to do something that is beyond their reach.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. This year in 2023, Dancing with the Hampton Roads Celebrity Stars, we had 3 Ashleys. That's a first. And one of the three Ashleys won, and one of the other Ashleys was the runner-up. So that was kind of cool. And they danced with, and they had an interesting journey because they started with one teacher, and then that teacher ended up leaving, and then we partnered them with another teacher midway through. And I think it'd be worth interviewing all of them and just asking them about their experience and how that kind of shakeup happened. And one of the Ashleys was actually both of the Ashleys that had the change of teacher, both took it like, okay, but I'd be curious to know, like, they said they were okay, but were they really? And was there a bit like, oh man, we started this choreography, it's going to feel totally different. It's a totally different point of view.
And it was just a couple weeks. I mean, it was like was it even 4 weeks before the event that this change happened? So we have to really applaud those two because that could have been, but it was, they did it fantastic.
Yeah. Applaud those two, and as well as applaud our teachers.
Yes.
Because that was an undertaking alone, that they're learning this brand new choreography with this deadline that was coming up really fast. And not only did they perform it well, but they, like I said, one was a winner, the other one was a runner-up. So it was a win-win. But speaking of winning and not making the cut, actually, I don't know if we should segue to Dancing with the Stars, the national version, just yet. Maybe we should just talk a little bit more about Antoine and a little bit more, because what I wanted to do is, again, if you click the link below or in the description, I'm going to post the video that I did, kind of like journaling your kind of from backstage, not backstage, but from lesson to backstage to on stage with Cameron. So that's kind of a cool video. Check it out in the link. But with Antoine, I wanted to do the same thing, but timing didn't work out. Is there something that Antoine brought that was different than any other star that you had before? That's my question.
Ooh, that's a good question. For sure. I think the relationship that I have with Antoine is pretty unique as well, because he came in as just a star, but then he became also my trainer. Well, both of our trainer, because we had started getting into boxing, which I think we talked about in a former episode. And, Antoine offered to do a class with us, and it was just... So we've been training with him. So it was really unique to be able to collaborate, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like I was his dance teacher. I was training him, and then he was training me in boxing. And it was unique because I don't think I've ever had a star that confident.
Yeah.
I mean, and literally someone of his caliber, someone that's been on stages, that's been on TV, that's been in situations of high stress and demanding of a lot. And he just seems so cool and calm and collected. I know he was a little nervous. I think the unique thing for me is I always take it really seriously, but I felt more pressure, I think, this year, and not from him. But as a teacher, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I need to make sure that this goes perfect and I better not mess up.
Yeah.
Because as pros, just like on the national level, we are human. I mean, we want our stars to do great. We don't want them to mess up, but we're like their secret weapon. We know if they make an error that we can help them recover. But then there's the pressure of, oh my gosh, I hope I don't do anything because even during practices, I mean, Antoine was like on point. He very rarely made any kind of like error. He was like rehearsed, super confident, and a lot of swag.
A lot of swag.
So he kind of made my life easy in that regard, because getting out on stage, unfortunately, I know you were traveling, coaching, you didn't get to be there in person, but when he was on stage, when he won, like I had so much fun. Like I was enjoying myself so much on stage with him, watching him, because I've never had a star. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had another star that did things the night of the performance, but Antoine was just killing it. And he had so much just energy and attitude, and he sold over 140 tickets. So when he was out there, the audience was just screaming and cheering for him. And when he won, I literally felt like I was in the ring with him because his character, it was as if he had the belt. And he was just like looking at his fans. And that was something funny. I think you might have seen when I would have you watch. I would always, in this portion of the dance where we were doing the hustle, I'd be like, look at your fans.
Oh, yeah.
And it would always get a great response from him from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if I think I answered your question, but he was just so much fun and just, I don't think he could have done a better job. It was an amazing showing, a great, fantastic performance.
Yeah. Well, it was funny, talking to him like afterwards. If you check out the Alpha Geek podcast, we have 2 episodes out, and then the first one he kind of talked about it a little bit, and he said he was super nervous, but then as soon as he got on stage, the nerves kind of went away. And it was funny because we did a dress rehearsal, or you guys did a dress rehearsal the Friday prior, so the night before. Was it the night before? It was the night or the week before?
It was the night before.
The night before. So he did a dress rehearsal the night before, and he took a shot.
I was going to say, he used a little liquid courage.
Yeah. And it was like, I think he said that messed him up. So he knew he wouldn't do that the night of the show.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
After, fine. He played it off, and I think probably from his experience as a fighter, you have to be composed. I mean, you have to go in with, you can't show fear. I can't imagine him being scared of anybody, but I'm sure that helped him in this, and that he was so composed. And he has probably one of the most like beautiful smiles. Like when he smiles, the whole room wants to smile. I mean, the whole room just lights up. So, so I think he played that off really, really well. Not only here in the studio for his dress rehearsal, but even at the show. Yeah. I think people cheering and the energy, I think that really fueled him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because we had another star and he was terrified. And none of that was helping. Yeah. Although it did, there's something powerful about what we do, and, taking it to being a dance instructor and, applauding for people, high-fiving, cheering, yelling, their name, even on a lesson. It's like, it's pretty magical to watch that. Like someone just hearing their name can just put a smile on their face and provide them with energy or that little bit of confidence that they're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the big thing, at least for our studio and our stars, was the teamwork thing, or the camaraderie, the sense of camaraderie. As you were telling me that backstage, like, so if you're looking at the stage and like what is it called, backstage or side stages, whatever, it's on the side. So like everyone was watching, everyone's there in person watching and cheering each other on. That says a lot. And I think that gives like support and positive and
our we have our staff as a we're a team. And so for the show, we stayed right on the side, on the wings, and watched each other, watched everyone, cheered for other schools as well. Well, funny thing is, there was one of the other stars who really was gunning for Antoine. Oh, yeah. And I think, I got to see Antoine. They were kind of like, what would you say?
Friendly rivalry?
Yeah, basically they were.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to jump in here for a second. So another thing that Antoine was talking about is when he got on The Ultimate Fighter, he was telling me about how he got on the show, or his audition. So he fights in heavyweight class. And he said he walked into the boardroom and was just, he did some and I'm gonna curse here, quoting. He did some janky shit when he went in there, and it was so funny. He was describing the whole process, and like this dude, I mean, I can't remember if he said Dana White was in the room, but to be like all that bravado and all that, like just confident. So anyway,
and I'm curious,
kind of took that along with, so that idea of, because if you're a fighter, when you do the weigh-ins and you're kind of like getting interviewed, and they're all like talking smack and being all like, because you got to be, right? It's like you got to be confident. You got to show that you got no fear. So getting on this Dancing with the Hampton Roads Celebrity Stars, kind of taking that fighter sense of like calling out your competition. And I just, he kind of brought that, he brought that, right?
He did. It was really, really funny. And it was very friendly. And, you know, backstage, he was like, JJ's going to pay.
So good.
And, you know, with his smile. And then JJ would respond back. And they even placed a bet on what would happen based on if either one of them won, cool. What they would have to do for each other. And that's funny. It was, and always with a smile, like Antoine. And I wonder if when he was doing that on The Ultimate Fighter, those types of moments, did he have that smile when he was saying those things? Because that would be really confusing, because he's got this great smile, and I guess it could probably be menacing if he was heckling someone or giving him a hard time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're going to post a link to that video in the description. So check that out of Antoine and Wendy's performance. So speaking of performances, let's flip over to Dancing with the Stars season 32. Holy cow. 32 seasons of the show. And that show has been through several arcs. Like some seasons have been really good and other seasons have not been good. And what they're always trying to accomplish, when it was episode 1 or season 1, whatever, it was Strictly Dancing, which is the British version of the show, Strictly Dancing. But it was all ballroom dancers, which actually we got approached way back when we were still in Rochester to be on that show. But at the time there was like no money, and we were at the height of our competing years. So it was like, and running the studio. So it was just, we just couldn't get away.
What if?
Oh, I know. What if? But on season 1, who were the pros on there? You don't really remember any of them. There's a few that we'll still remember, which we can go revisit that. But
Edita. I loved Edita.
Yeah, there was a few of them.
Her husband, Marco.
But now that we're in season 32, one of the biggest changes, which I think is a change for the best, and quoting Antoine saying some janky stuff, I think when Tyra Banks was on it, being the host, that was terrible. She was terrible. It was so much about Tyra and her outfits, and I don't know. I just
wasn't
never
sincere.
No, and I just never personally. I never felt like she was a good fit for the show. What did you think?
Agreed, 100%. It just was awkward. It just didn't fit. So I'm really excited to see Julianne Hough back on, because she's an amazing, obviously, dancer, and I think whenever someone's part of something that's done, you know, she's been on there as a teacher, as an instructor, as one of the pros. So she's going to be able to, I think she judged as well on the show. And then she is partnered with
Alfonso. So Alfonso was on Dancing with the Stars. Okay, so Julianne Hough, triple threat, right? Dancer, singer, actress. Alfonso, triple threat, dancer, singer, actor. What a perfect pairing. I think when we watched the opening, and just Alfonso and Julianne, how they're going to play off each other, I think is going to be a huge addition to the show. Mm-hmm. The production value, the amount of money that supports that show is big. You know it's big because they got all these superstars now on the show. So I'm excited about this season. And we're already into the first week. And so Matt Walsh already got kicked off the dance island. But really, I think today I just wanted to kind of just talk about the host. And I'd be curious in the comments below, what did you think of Tyra Banks? Do you like the new host, Julianne Hough and Alfonso? I'd be really curious, because I really think, oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. The original host, his name
Tom Bergeron.
Tom Bergeron. Now, come on, Tom Bergeron.
He was great.
He was really good. Mm-hmm. And from what I hear, Tom Bergeron was really into the dancers. He was a supporter. It wasn't about him. It was about him reacting, not only setting up the dances, but reacting to the dances in a genuine, real way, which I always, and always in a positive way. Never like, because sometimes the judges, you get a little, I don't know, their comments sometimes are just like, okay, whatever. But Tom was always a good ambassador, or good ambassador for the dancers and the pros.
This is also the first year since Len Goodman passed away. Is that?
Oh, that's right.
Right? This is the first season.
I think so.
And I believe they have done something. I think that now I believe the winner, it's going to be the Len Goodman. They're doing something in his honor. So that's going to be interesting to have the show and not have Len Goodman on there.
Yeah.
You know, may not have always agreed with his approach or things that he said, but he's been on that. He's been there from day one and comes with so much. I mean, what a legacy.
Yeah. And Len Goodman's a legit dude. Like, he was a legit ballroom dancer and like very well respected in the industry. So it's a sad loss. But the first week, we covered 3 or 4 dances. We got cha-chas, we got foxtrots, we got salsas, we got tangos, we got jives. So we got a good variety of dances.
There was a lot of cha-cha.
Both Latin and smooth. You know, it's always interesting what dances connect with certain audience. Of course, cha-chas are going to be probably the more exciting ones. Whereas foxtrot, I think some of the traditional ballroom dances, and I think they're utilizing more of American smooth style versus international standard.
It's interesting. Even in our local version, the dance that is the most popular dance that's picked is cha-cha. Whenever we get the rundown, it's always like cha-cha, cha-cha, cha.
Yeah. It's hard to get like... It's hard to, if you don't have a huge production value and it's live on stage and it's based on the judges' feedback as well as the audience, but what gets the audience going? So if you're watching a dance show, what is it that you really connect with? If you were to turn the volume off, would it be the sheer dancing, or is it what you hear and that's what kind of moves you?
Yeah,
So
I think that's a big part of it, depending,
song choice,
energy, because they're selective. I think in the first episodes, they'll usually probably pick, songs that are current today, so they can really tap into that. And I think connect with the wide range of audience. And I think high energy, if you don't have a dance background, as you were saying, I think people connect with that.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to pull off a waltz than it is a cha-cha.
For sure. I think also the general public will appreciate like waltz and tango and all that, but really not recognizing how hard it is to dance a waltz. And people, oftentimes when we start brand new people off with dancing, we always interrelate rumba to waltz. And I don't know if it still has this negative or kind of like, what am I doing waltz for? It seems like old fashioned.
I love the waltz.
I love the waltz too. It's so hard. It's so disciplined. But going back to music, the song I hate the most that people use, I can't say I hate it. It's just been overdone, but it's also really hard to dance this specific song, Moulin Rouge's tango version of Roxanne. That whole like Roxanne, it gets really intense and really heavy. I don't know. Sometimes we've had people will dance it. There's songs that you feel like you can capture the intensity behind it, but it falls short. And I can't wait to see the performance of, what is that? Is it Lel and Brandon? Leal and Brandon? They used that song. So I need to go back and watch that and see if I actually feel like I don't like that song. Did they do that song justice or not? If anybody has any comments on that, feel free to post on that. But for me, that song was like, ugh.
I know we haven't had a chance. We just got back from judging Flamingo Rama in Naples, Florida, which is super fun. So we've been just playing catch up. So we haven't had a chance to watch the episode. But I am so interested to see the cha-cha. Oh my gosh, I actually was just picking the person that got voted off. So I really am intrigued because they danced to Belle Biv DeVoe.
Poison.
Poison. I think that would be really hard to pull off. So we're going to have to watch that and see what happened.
Yeah. So that's going to be our homework, is to watch
the whole show.
The whole show. Week 1, the whole show. But like I said, we're already in the first week. Matt Walsh did get booted off the dance island.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun.
Yeah. But within that first week, and I think, another side thing. Not all of these stars, they say they don't have dance experience, or they come in with limited experience. Well, some of these stars... Not true. Not true at all. Because some of these stars come in with a lot of training and preparation. For instance, our friend, Sev, he, oh my goodness, I just forgot. Kirstie Alley, that's right. Kirstie Alley was on the show. She took lessons with him for, 6 months or so, in preparation up in, I think he would actually fly down to Florida. I think he was in Florida at the time, but anyway, he would travel with her and he would train her in preparation of the show. And then she got partnered with her star, or with her pro teacher on the show. And they played it as if she had no experience in ballroom dancing. So obviously somebody shouldn't go into a show like this of such a national scale, huge show. And you don't want to look like a complete moron. You don't want to look completely inept. So obviously some preparation is smart. It's smart for them. It's smart for the viewers. It's smart for the pros. But it's just interesting how reality shows say they have no experience, but they're getting experience. So
you can tell.
You can totally tell.
Because ballroom is not easy.
No.
Latin.
Not at all.
It is tricky, and it is hard to just have someone just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to do, whether it's a cha-cha or foxtrot, especially for the male stars. I mean, I think that's really hard, because I think as a female professional, we can, let's say if someone's dancing a cha-cha and he's not very good, the female professional can do a lot of moving and doing lots of things to make him look good. So it's not easy. So I think a lot of these people are coming in with experience for sure.
Yeah, totally.
We'll have to watch. That could be another discussion. Who had experience and who didn't?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so
Brady Bunch,
Barry Williams.
So
the cast. Let's just run through the cast really quick. So we have, first one is Tyson. What does that say?
Tyson Beckford,
model, actor.
Yes, you know who Tyson Beckford is.
I do.
You do. He's from. He was in the movies, the Transformers. He was one of the military guys.
Oh.
Very, very handsome. He's smooth R&B singer, so I will be excited to see what his dance looks like.
He's partnered with Jenna Johnson.
Oh, he is in good hands, for sure.
Yeah, Jenna's amazing. Wait, is Jenna's married to Val? That's right.
And had a baby.
Val.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, Jenna is like, she was on So You Think You Can Dance, and she did have ballroom experience. And I remember watching her on that show. Remember, we were watching her, and she was freaking brilliant.
And everything they gave her.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole other episode, but
for sure.
Just the amazing ability that ballroom dancers, I think it's really hard for other genres, other styles to do ballroom. But I find that a lot of the ballroom Latin dancers can do anything.
Yep.
And Jenna is definitely one of those.
Yep. And then next we have, I can't see that. How do you pronounce that name?
I'm not sure, but this is with Val. It's Shoshiti Gomez.
Shoshiti Gomez.
Sorry, Shoshiti. I'm not sure we know who you are, but hopefully we didn't just destroy your name.
Film and television actress, partnered with Val. So if she's partnered with Val, she's probably talented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Allison Hannigan, film and television actress with Sasha Farber.
Sasha's good.
He sure is.
Sasha always does the backflip. And then we have
Harry Jousey, and he is partnered up with Riley Arnold. He's too hot to handle contestant. That must be a reality show. We don't watch a lot of those, so I don't know.
Charity Lawson, a Bachelorette star with Artem. Artem's
one of the originals.
Yeah. No, is he original?
I think he was one of the...
No, he was early on, but I don't know. I don't think he's the original.
He was pretty close then.
Yeah.
And still an amazing dancer.
Yeah, I remember him coming on and being like, whoa.
Next one is Ariana Maddox from Vanderpump Rules star with Pasha
Pashkov.
Pasha is amazing.
Pasha is amazing. Pasha and Daniela.
Ariana is from Vanderpump Rules, and we're probably maybe two of the only people that have not watched this reality show, but apparently I have a friend that watched it, and there was a lot of drama. A lot of drama. So it's very interesting that they're on the show.
Truth be told, I never heard of the show. It's probably not down my favorites list, because I'm on the Alpha Geek podcast where we're talking about more about...
You're going to probably have to start watching these shows.
That's right. Antoine's into those reality shows. And then we have Jason Mraz, singer-songwriter, partnered with the wife of Pasha Pashkov, Daniela Karagash.
And great musician, singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
Love his stuff.
And Daniela is a force to be reckoned with.
Beast.
She won with the basketball player from a couple seasons ago, Anyway, she toured with Derek Huff. She and Pasha were pro Latin competitors and like super high level. Daniela, in my opinion, I'm going to have to watch the show again, but Daniela for me is probably one of the most talented.
She's a beast.
Dancer. Yeah, she's a beast.
Then we have Adrian Peterson, an NFL running back with Britt Stewart.
And then we have Lel Pons, social media personality with Brandon Armstrong. I don't know how I feel about these social media influencers. Do you all think that they are celebrities?
Celebrity status?
Are they celebrity status?
We want to know what you think. Then we have...
Mir Sorvino.
Yes. Okay, tell us who she's partnered with.
Gleb Savchenko.
Another great dancer.
Yep.
Anyone with the last name Chenko is usually good odds, or he's going to be good.
Because my last name's Denisenko. Savchenko. Totally. I'd be curious if Gleb says Savchenko or he says Savchenko. Because when it comes to pronunciation, depending on which region you are, because I would imagine that last name with an ENKO would normally say that you're Ukrainian. That's a very common Ukrainian ending of a last name. But I know I pronounce my last name Denisenko. And some Russian-speaking people will say Denisenko. And so I would be curious if it's Savchenko or Savchenko.
I think that would make it, for people that are not Ukrainian, have more complications saying your name.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, I did already watch one of these because I was so curious. The next star, Jamie Lynn Spears. Of course, we know Britney Spears' sister, and she did pretty good.
Yeah.
I think she did a tango.
With Alan Burston. And then we have a Maurizio Umansky.
Another celebrity from the
Real
reality
Housewives
stars.
of Beverly Hills.
Another show that we do not watch.
No. With Emma Slater. Emma's a good dancer.
And I believe she and Sasha are married, are they not?
That I don't know.
I think so. I could be mistaken. And then lastly, taking it back old school.
Barry Williams.
From the Brady Bunch with...
Peta Murgatroyd, who is married to Max.
Yes. Max from back in the day, the bad boy of the dance floor.
Max Shvedkovsky, Val's bigger brother.
Yeah. Miss having Max on the show.
Yeah, Max
He's such an amazing dancer.
Such a good dancer. Very masculine dancer. So we're looking forward to watching season 32 of Dancing with the Stars. And we're going to be talking more about it in future episodes. But let us know what you think of the arc of Dancing with the Stars. But mostly today was about talking about the host, Tyra Banks, being replaced. Yes.
We're okay with that. We're more than
it's okay. Wendy, you could say you liked her.
No,
it's totally fine.
I know.
She did have fabulous dresses.
No.
No, she didn't.
I mean, some of her outfits were absurd, but that's another, she just wasn't right for the role.
No.
Yeah.
A little too much about her.
Yeah, it's got to be about the dancing. That's what it's about. And someone that just didn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you have watched our previous episode, let us know about our new set. We've created a new podcast set. So you'll be seeing future changes of that as well. So if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify or now Amazon, I've uploaded stuff on Amazon Podcast. So if you can see us, let us know what you think of the new set. And if you can hear us, I'm glad you can hear us.
Yes. And if you have any topics that you would be curious to have us talk about, comment below, submit them. We'd love to know what you'd like to hear about in respect to the dance world.
That's right. So you could find us at lifeisadance.com, our studio. You can locate our Arthur Murray Dance Studio here located in Hampton Roads by visiting www.cutarug.net. Yeah. So any closing remarks, Wendy?
I think in a future episode, Taras just mentioned our website. We have a blog with some awesome dance tips. So check that out. And you'll definitely be hearing us feature some of those in our future episodes. Just kind of connecting with the dance world and how dancing, even if you're new to dancing, maybe you're listening in and you've never danced. There's lots of reasons to start dancing outside of just learning a few steps. So check out our blog at cutarug.net.